Welcome from Las Vegas, Nevada, the host city of NAB 2014. We're here on the 45th floor of the Trump International Hotel. This is Cinema 5D on the Couch, presented by B&H, the professionals source, Vitech Videocom, Tools on Air, and Zeiss.
Welcome to another episode of Cinema 5D on the Couch. Today we have Greg from GTechnology. Hi. How's it going?
Good.
I work with you guys quite a lot. I know all about your new products, but you still have to tell me because our audience doesn't know.
Yeah, no, great. So at NAB 2014 here, we've introduced some new products. We have our new studio line of products, which is basically really providing a very unique design. Obviously, black, kind of different from what GTech has done in the past, but really trying to complement today's really high-performance workstations focused on the content creator space. We've done some interesting things, not only in terms of the design, but also from the technology standpoint. We've integrated Thunderbolt 2 technology, so the newer, faster interface that's really supporting these high-resolution 4K on and up workflows. We have hardware RAID inside of it. So in our G-RAID Studio, which is this solution here, this is a dual drive solution. It's going to give you capacities of 6, 12, and actually 6, 8, and 12 terabytes. Hardware RAID 0, RAID 1. You can do JBOD if you need that level of performance. You have dual Thunderbolt ports on the back, so you can daisy chain all of the devices. Now, one of the other differentiators from what our competitors are doing, we actually are shipping these with our enterprise class hard drives. So you're getting the highest level of performance and reliability in there, including our new 6 terabyte helium drive.
I didn't even know there are 6 terabyte drives.
6 terabytes, yeah.
It's crazy.
High performance, and they're actually filled with helium. So it's going to give you not only that performance benefit, but also thermals and power. It's going to be able to save a little bit of power as well. So with the G-RAID Studio, again, it's a solid solution, RAID inside of it, enterprise class drives, Thunderbolt 2 technology. We also have the big brother, which is our G-Speed Studio. Let me show this up here to everybody watching. This is a 4-bay storage solution. As you can see, the drives are accessible from the top. Drives
Can you pop one out?
Yeah, we can pop one out. These actually have our helium drives that are sitting inside of it. Yeah, you can feel it.
Cool.
Enterprise class drives again, Thunderbolt 2 technology. But with this one here, we also have an enterprise class RAID controller. So he actually has a processor inside of it that's supporting RAID 0, RAID 1, 5, and 10. So you have lots of different RAID configurations and capability inside of this enclosure. Now we're going to offer capacities of 12, 16, and now with the 6 terabyte drive, you're going to get 24 terabytes of storage inside of this.
It's a lot of content.
Enclosure. Yeah, exactly.
And it looks like the new Mac Pro.
Yeah, and it looks like the new Mac Pro. Obviously, that computer is providing a lot of horsepower to be able to really work with this higher resolution content. You know, we've also designed it to really look good next to any workstation that really is a Thunderbolt enabled workstation. Mac Pro is a great example. You know, we also did some things to really make it look good next to some of the higher end Windows workstations like the HP Z820. So it's really going to complement, you know, again, those higher end workstations that we have out there.
Cool. So this is Thunderbolt 2, right?
Thunderbolt 2, correct.
So perfect for the new Mac Pro. It's funny that the external devices now are bigger than the Mac Pro because it's like the Mac Pro is so small, but this is it complements it well because you guys always try to make them look alike, right? I mean,
we've had a lot of success with complementing Apple's designs, in terms of using similar kinds of metals and colors, and the design idea is really obviously important. You know, at GTechnology, we're all about performance, style. We want things that look really nice next to those workstations that the pros are using, and also reliability as well. You know, so that's why we put enterprise class hard drives in there. You're getting the fastest level of performance with Thunderbolt 2 technology in this case. So that's important to our customers, and that's important for us to put into our designs.
Cool. So this is the SSD version of the EV, right?
That's right.
For the G-Dock.
That's correct. Yeah. So last year we introduced the G-Dock, the whole Evolution series. We had 1 terabyte drives, 7,200 RPM. Great drives. We are the only ones out there in the market today that have that 1 terabyte, 7,200 RPM drive. But we also wanted to add some additional levels of capacity and performance. So we have a 500 gigabyte version of the spinning disk drive, the hard drive, which is great for distributing and sharing content collaboratively and delivering like those final files to customers. But we also wanted to make sure that we had a really high performance drive. So we have a SSD version as well. And what's great about the Evolution series is obviously the drive modules are kind of the heart of the solution. You can access the drives as standalone drives, or you can put it inside of a dock and access all the content via Thunderbolt.
Yeah. So I have some of these, and I got one of my clients to buy a G-Dock with the EVs, and the nice thing is you don't need to to give the cables with them anymore, because they get lost, they break, whatever. You can well, I use these to back up on set.
Yep.
So I have two of these on set, and when I'm back in the studio and the office, I just pop them into the dock via Thunderbolt, and they're super fast because there's no bottleneck if you access both of them.
That's right.
Through Thunderbolt, which is nice because the data throughput is so high.
That's right. And actually, even with the SSD, just to give you some kind of performance of what that benefit is of that dock, via USB 3 on the SSD, we'll get transfer rates of about 400 megabytes per second,
Wow.
which is fast. But actually inside the dock, we're able to take full advantage of Thunderbolt, so you're going to get transfer rates of 480 megabytes per second. So you're getting that little extra kick to be able to get that data, either to work with that data or to get it off onto your bigger storage.
It's nice because this is like, I hope this becomes really a standard for these small drives, because once you have sitting these, like my client, they have sitting a dock there now. Just pop them in, they send it back, and it's easier than with the USB 3, and also reliability. I think Thunderbolt is, to me at least, more reliable on set.
Yeah, it's a dedicated resource. It's not shared. So it's a lot more consistent levels of performance.
Cool.
The other great thing about the EV modules, obviously your use case is exactly why we designed this. Is to be able to back up really easily out in the field or on set. We also ruggedize the drives, so they will stand a 1 meter drop. I mean, as you can feel it, you can see it. Yeah, go ahead.
No, that's fine.
People get scared, but I do it all the time. We take those things into consideration. I mean, even something on as the labeling, we actually put a little label area on the bottom of it, so you can keep all your data organized. So little things that we really are trying to simplify. What our customers are doing. So
cool.
A lot of good stuff.
You also recently you introduced the G Drive Pro, I think it's called.
Yeah.
We have one here in use. It's quite nice. So that's SSD performance, but it's hard drives, right?
It's SSD-like performance with spinning disk capacity, right? So basically what we've done is we've done a kind of unique internal design. It used to be what we call our secret sauce, our special sauce, but basically what we've done is we see a need for high performance working or kind of a scratch disk. And what the G Drive Pro basically provides you is that SSD performance with spinning disk capacity. So you're going to get transfer rates of about 480 megabytes per second, which is fast. But you're also going to get that high levels of capacity. So you're going to have 2 and 4 terabytes worth of capacity. And so it's great to be able to shuttle, again, that higher resolution content from off the set back into your post-production environment, and be able to actually work off that content straight away.
That's cool.
And there are 4 drives that are inside that are kind of rated together, but it's really maximizing, that performance and giving you lots of capacity. I mean, to give you some perspective, this drive here, 512 gigabytes, this retails for about $499. The G Drive Pro with Thunderbolt for 2 terabytes retails for $699. So what would normally cost you about $2,000 for SSD, in terms of capacity, you're able to get at basically 1/3 the cost of what that's going to cost you. And 4 terabytes is $849. So for an extra $150, you're going to get twice the capacity.
I think I said that at one of my talks for you guys, like at IBC. But there was one shoot where I shot a short film on the Canon C500 with a RAW recorder.
Yes.
And that creates a crazy amount of data. It's like 1 terabyte per hour. And that's what, I think a week before I got my Thunderbolt rate, like the G-Rate Thunderbolt.
Yep.
And I took it along. I knew that it would be the fastest, but we were really, if we hadn't had it, we just would not have been able to finish the film, because we literally had like 2 or 3 SSDs for the camera, for the convergent design recorder, and we ended up, like half an hour is like 512 gigabytes. So our DIT was struggling with all the other drives because they were not fast enough, but only the Thunderbolt. It's not ideal, of course, just to have one drive as a backup, but there was no other way to have it. But at least we were able to offload the stuff and reuse the SSDs. Otherwise, we would just have to wait on set.
Yeah.
So I think it's really essential in this day and age to have really fast drives on set, because with all the hype around RAW and 4K, everybody wants it, but once you have it, you don't want it anymore. That's what I always say, because it's really hard to deal with this amount of data.
Yeah,
and it's the only way to deal with this is having fast drives.
Yeah, well, fast and also high capacity,
Yeah.
right? I mean, like you said, 1 hour is 1 terabyte, right?
It's crazy. Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of content.
Yeah, I still prefer to shoot on cameras that have an efficient codec, though. But every now and then, if you shoot commercials and stuff, it has its advantages to shoot RAW.
Yeah.
And that's where these drives are extremely helpful. I mean, all these users who buy Blackmagic cameras, or the other inexpensive RAW shooting cameras like the Kine RAW and all the other ones, or even the firmware hacked 5D Mark III.
Yeah.
People buy it and then they start shooting with it, and then they send me emails saying like, well, it's good, but how do you deal with all the data?
Yeah.
It's a big issue.
It's a challenge, yeah.
Yeah, so that's a good market for you guys, I guess.
It is, and and also obviously as the interfaces are continuing to grow, like Thunderbolt 2, for example, you're given a lot bigger pipe to be able to move data, and that's really what's supporting these kinds of workflows.
Yep.
And so, that's my challenge now going forward, is to really be able to maximize those interfaces and to give high capacity and highly reliable storage solutions to make your life easier.
Who are the people who buy GTechnology drives, do you think? Who is the market?
Yeah, I mean, we have a variety of different verticals that we cover, or customers. We have consumers that really recognize and like the quality of our drives, and like also the style of it sitting next to that MacBook Air they just bought. But we also have a lot of professional customers like yourself, right? People that really trust in our performance and the reliability, and that's both in the photography, the film, even the audio industry. A lot of music producers and audio technicians, rely on our products to make sure that they protect and store all that content.
Yeah. How long have you worked for GTech?
See, I'm coming up on almost 3 years now, so it's been a little bit of time.
So I guess you've already seen the market change over that time, right?
For sure, yeah.
I mean, we see like tons of new cameras at this show. Good market for you guys, but I mean, in general, where do you see the trend going?
Yeah, so there's a lot of, some of the things that we've heard, over the last week here have actually been really interesting. Obviously Thunderbolt has just really, I think, kind of taken off in terms of its adoption. Obviously with the new Mac Pro, MacBook Pro Retinas that have dual Thunderbolt ports in them with Thunderbolt 2. That's really exciting, and it's really enabling what you guys are doing. Even cameras now are starting to integrate Thunderbolt technology. So that's kind of where it's trending. Also performance, right? It's drive performance is going to be key and paramount to you gave a great example. You don't want to be sitting there on set waiting for the data to move, right? It's important to get that data off so that you can continue your creative process.
It's a bottleneck. It's a bottleneck that a lot of people don't think about.
Correct.
I know big productions that shoot. They decided to shoot on RE RAW or something on Alexa, and they are stuck with not having enough capacity to back everything up, and so they have just to hold production. It doesn't happen often because these kind of productions usually plan ahead, but it does happen.
Yeah. Well, and have multiple copies, right? That's also obviously very important to have that redundancy. A lot of other really cool things. I mean, Thunderbolt 2 now is enabling Thunderbolt networking, so a lot of people are asking for shared storage, being able to collaborate on all that content that's being stored, and so that's really going to open up some opportunities for us to create some solutions that are really focused and optimized, for those purposes.
Yeah, cool.
So
yeah, well, I think all the raw hype will, it's a hype. I mean, it's I don't see everybody shooting RAW in any near future, but it is something that people will use for specific purposes. But in general, I think 4K is here to stay, and there's a lot of different flavors of that. And what I always tell people is not, a lot of people ask me when do I offload stuff during the day on a shoot? Well, I don't, because it's not a good idea. You just have enough cards to do that. But still, you need fast drives. That thing with the C500 was an exception, I guess, because we didn't have enough of the SSDs. But after I shoot a lot of documentary stuff. So when I'm finished in the evening, you get home after or back to the hotel after a 12, 14-hour shooting day.
Yeah.
You don't want to sit there for another 5 hours, because that's what it takes with slow drives sometimes to offload everything.
That's right.
So, and nobody pays me for that. Nobody will pay me overtime for offloading stuff. I mean, I had discussions with producers about that when they supply me with a shitty little something, USB 2 sometimes, and they're like, "Are you serious? I can't do this." It's like, and then I take my G-Rate along, and it's all fine. But I think that's just essential. Same. I also tell people to buy fast cards. Just not even if your camera doesn't need it, you will be thankful for them when you offload.
That's right.
If you have a proper reader.
Well, and to your point, I mean, it's the return on investment, right? I mean, you're doing a job and you want to maximize your time.
Yep.
And like you said, a 12, 14-hour day.
Time is money.
Time is money, yeah. I mean, in a 12, 14-hour day, I'm sure you could think of a lot of other things you'd be doing instead of watching files moving over, over to a drive, right? Sleep, having a nice dinner, spending time with your friends and family. I mean, that's obviously very important, and that's, I always like to say, I want to allow my customers to do what they do best, which is to create content, not to worry about their storage and to maximize their time, right? Yeah. That's important.
How's Thunderbolt adoption on the Windows side, I wonder? Is it getting better, or?
Yeah, it's starting to get a lot better. I mean, HP obviously is doing some great things there.
Cool. I wouldn't know as a Mac guy.
Yeah, well, and I'm primarily a Mac brand as well, but HP is doing some really unique things. With the Z workstations that they have, you actually can get a Thunderbolt card that you can actually put into the system. And then some of their laptops are also, the ZBook laptops have are Thunderbolt enabled. Yeah. And so, GTechnology, obviously, that's something, as I kind of mentioned before with our studio line, we really wanted to design something that will look great next to both workstations, right? Yeah. And Thunderbolt continues to become adopted, especially in the media and entertainment industry. It's a very fast, it handles display, it handles data, it handles networking capability all in one interface, and so it's a great tool.
Cool. What are the new insights that you got from NAB? Anything you didn't expect, or you like customer feedback, or like where the market is going?
I mean, some good customer feedback. It's always good to come to these kinds of shows and see our customers and touch our customers, right? Because one of the proud things that I have is I really recognize how people really adore GTechnology as a brand. They rely on us as a part of their occupation and their generation of money. I mean, obviously collaboration, being able to access content very easily is kind of some of the other trends. And then, as you kind of mentioned too, 4K is here. It's continuing to go. I mean, you have cameras that are also shooting even higher resolutions. And from an affordability standpoint, like you kind of mentioned Blackmagic, you can easily get, people shooting in this high resolution content. And that's great for us because we not only have, people need a place to store it, and GTechnology hopefully is going to be that choice. Yeah. So,
any new products that are coming up that you can tease about, or nothing?
It's kind of hard for a product guy to be able to talk about that kind of stuff. We have a lot of things in the works and in development. Really, again, maximizing Thunderbolt 2, and also giving these higher levels of capacity. The Evolution series is a great product for us. A lot of opportunity to really simplify workflow and the movement of data, and so we're going to continue to develop that whole ecosystem. Again, having HDSD hard drives inside of it, we're going to look at integrating a variety of those capacities in a lot of our solutions. So, we're very busy. We're looking forward to the rest of the year and delivering on, again, those high-performance, stylish, and reliable products that people know and recognize GTechnology for.
Cool. So. But I'm sure you're happy that NAB is almost over.
I am, yeah. I'm looking forward to a little bit of sleep, a little rest and relaxation.
Yeah, like we all are.
Get that voice back, right?
Yeah. Well, you sound good.
Yeah.
We had somebody else here who was like very quiet.
Raspy voice, yeah.
Yes. So. All right. Thank you a lot.
Thanks, Nino.
And see you soon, or at the next show.
Yeah, I can. Looking forward to seeing you again.
Yeah.
So, cheers.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. That was another episode of On the Couch. Thanks also to our sponsors. First and foremost, B&H, who supplied us with all this equipment that we're using here. Vitek Videocom, Zeiss, and Tools on Air. Thank you, and see you next time.